What did you do when you got back to the hotel room last night?
Kelly and I had something to eat, sat around and talked, and how grateful we are for everything. Called our kids, told them good night, loved them, went to bed.
What was the first quiet moment like after winning the championship?
Just, really grateful, really just at ease, happy for our football team. I think it was just a joyous, quiet moment.
When you woke up this morning, which, first of all, it surprised me that you went to sleep. But when you woke up, what was the first thing that came into your mind when you opened your eyes?
I told Kelly we're national champions.
What'd you say?
She goes, yes, we are, baby. It felt, and it did feel good. We get up, we got to go to press conference. Here we go.
So at what point do you think, how will you feel about this when you start to put a little perspective on what your team did, the top 10 wins, the record set, the trophies won, the team you beat in the championship game? When you try to put it in perspective, how do you?
I think as time goes on, this team will be known as one of the greatest teams to ever play college football. And we're one of the greatest players to ever play college football, Joe Burrow. Those things were too far-fetched for us to think about even. Our focus was beating Clemson, a very good football team. Now we'll have time to reflect on that, but I think those are the things I'm going to think about.
Maybe you and I sat like this one time in between, but the last time I remember is I came down to Baton Rouge, sat in your office after you guys had lost to Troy. When you think about that conversation and that time and where your program was at that moment, as opposed to what it's become now, how did you do that?
I think it was a turning point. I really think it was a turning point that we really had to set our jaw. There was a black cloud around Baton Rouge. The pressure was on. And I feel that we operate best under pressure. There was no room for error. The margin of error was very, very small. We had to recruit. We had to get better players. We had to change the offense. We couldn't take any opponent lightly. That couldn't happen again. And thank God it hasn't.
When you think about changing the offense, and maybe, look, you were at USC and there were points put up, but maybe doing it a little differently than you had to get to the position where you were. Did you ever have any hesitation at some point to go, man, we need to run the ball and play defense?
Yeah.
And, did you have any hesitation at any point?
We stuck with that for so long and it didn't work. I knew we had to change. And I knew we had to still be physical, which I think offense is physical, but I knew we had to throw the football to score points.
When you think back to your time as a player, time when you left school and went back to Northwestern State, what does being a national champion at LSU mean to you?
Gratification. When I left, it was unfinished business. I regretted it, and I tell my family that. Although I enjoyed Northwestern State University, at that point in my life, I wasn't ready to compete at the highest level. And I always wanted to compete at the highest level, so I always wanted to go back to LSU to prove myself in some capacity, and it happened.
You've proven yourself now. So how does that change the way you look at what you do every day?
In the same way. Same way I'm going to go to work every day with the same mindset, same attitude, humble and hungry.
What did you tell the team after the game last night?
I reminded them about the way that how they got here, the hard work. We started working last January 17. We made a commitment. These guys didn't hang out in clubs. These guys didn't do the wrong things. They did the right thing. They had player-only practices. They fought together. They fought through adversity. They stayed together. They became a team.
From your experience, whether it's at USC or back in the day at Miami, what's the biggest challenge now that you're on top to staying there?
Yeah, get back to work. Get back to the mindset, the grind, the grit. And we're going to have to forget about all this. We have to put these trophies and all these accolades aside and get back to work and get a great fourth quarter program and get guys doing the right things fundamentally.
What happened with your wife, Kelly, on the street and the good luck charm, I guess, that she was given?
Yeah, the talk of the rock was hit rock bottom. Every time I get to the top, I hit rock bottom. I didn't tell her that. And she was on the bus with me. She rides on the bus. We put the hype video. I said, "You're going to enjoy this hype video." She goes, "Hey, I want to show you what somebody gave me off the street." And gave me a rock with the cross on it. And he said, "Hey, every time you go to the top, it's about you got to remember about hitting rock bottom. it was the same message that The Rock gave us about 2 minutes later on in the hype video, so I knew it was our day.
When you think about this season, there was hard work, there were great players, tremendous coaching. Do you ever remember everything falling into place the way this season has in any season you've been involved in football?
You know, I remember being at Miami, and we knew we were going to win. I remember being at USC, we knew we were going to win. And we believed in Coach Carroll, we believed in Coach Johnson, we believed in our players. It's like that here in LSU. We felt like we were going to win every game. We believed in our players. There was no panic. They played loose. We had playmakers. We believed in our coaches. There was a sense of confidence around the office every day, but also hungry.
Take a look at this and tell me what you think. Louisiana State University National Championship.
You know, that's for everybody. And, you know, when you come to LSU, that's the expectation. I said that they always hired. We understand the expectations, and we invited because we have the same expectation of myself and our staff, and we reached it. I'm so proud. But you know what? It wouldn't be done without great players, and we have some great players on this football team.
Probably going to end on that one, but I want to ask one more. Before the season, your mom, 77th birthday, number 77, state championship in 1977 when you were a player, and she said this would be your year.
Yeah.
Have you had a moment with her since?
Oh, I saw her yesterday, man. She was all fired up, and you know, my mom is where I got my enthusiasm from. A very hard worker. Her and my dad. You know, my father was best friends with Kelly. Just a close family. They taught us how to do this stuff. I give them the credit.
Perfect.
Thank you, my friend.
Congratulations.
Thank you for watching ESPN on YouTube. For more sports and analysis, download the ESPN app, and for live streaming sports and premium content, subscribe to ESPN Plus.